Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Can we go to the proper slide, Santosh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Going.
Okay, so I was very excited to uh, discuss about Lord Narasimha Deva. So this coming Tuesday, we are celebrating the appearance day of Lord Narasimha. And I also could hear many of you speaking about Lord Narasimha Deva. And you also had some interesting activities so far, as Santosh had told me. So today, we shall discuss on a very interesting, relevant topic connected to Lord Narasimha. So, Stay Strong with the Supreme Shield is the name of this entire program. And the talk that we are going to have is also going to be the same theme based. Stay strong. So, by the time Santosh sets up the slides, so I would like to ask all of you, what is your definition of being strong? Now, what do you mean by being strong? Anyone would like to answer? We'll start with the MC, Amrit.
Okay, staying strong means we have to be resilient in the face of difficulties um, and obstacles. That is what I think as staying strong.
Okay, very nice. We must be resilient. Okay, nice. Anybody, Deepesh would like to share? What do you mean by staying strong? Okay. Somebody else can share. Who else can share? Somnath, would you like to share? Do we have Somnath?
Yes, hello.
Yes, Somnath. Happy to hear your
Can you
voice.
hear me?
Long time. Yes.
So mostly like what Amrit said, being strong is getting prepared to face the difficulties of life, of anything that is coming everyday life, or maybe problem that is much higher, by
Okay.
making us fit or mentally, physically.
Okay.
But there are some things that we can, that is out of our control, that we cannot, how much strong we are, so we need to prepare for that also. How much strong we are, we cannot control most of the things.
Yeah.
So
Especially in the current scenario where the whole world is actually facing this pandemic, what we need is the mental strength, the inner strength, as Somnath said. So that is very important for us at this point of time. So holding on to a strong hope is very important. Thank you, Somnath. Yes, anybody else would like to share? What do you mean by being strong?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I try?
Yes, please. What's your name?
Swapnil Soni Prabhuji.
Yes, Swapnil. Yes, please.
Being strong, according to me, is be as it is even at the time of good time or bad time. So remaining as it is being strong or strength. Be it even when we are happy, or even when we are sad, even when we are facing any difficulty, if we are as it is, the way we are in our natural form, that is being strong, Prabhu.
Very nice. So remaining unshaken amidst all difficulties, all situations. Very nice. Very nicely said, Swapnil. Very good. Anybody else would like to share? Some of the new joinees who have just now joined us for the program. So we are just discussing what do you mean by staying strong? Just want to hear from you before I start speaking. I would like to hear from you. What do you mean by being strong? Who would like to speak? Please unmute yourself. Don't hesitate. Please share whatever you feel. Yes, anyone would like to share? I would like to.
Uh, I,
Yes,
can I share, sir?
yes. Santosh. Yes,
Yes. So, uh, the moment I hear strong or strength, like it, what comes to my mind is being resilient to ups and downs. So it's very natural that we get depressed and get elated whenever we get our thing working on or doesn't work. So being strong is uh, being upheld in the waves even uh, when the things are very turbulent. So you have strong grounded foundation.
yes. Very nice. Thank you, Santosh. Deep, can you please share your thoughts on this?
I guess the same, being unshaken in the tough times.
Okay, being unshaken in tough times. Okay, very nice. Thank you. Who else is remaining who has not shared? Gaurav, would you like to speak? Have you?
Yeah.
Uh, yes, Gaurav. How are
So
you? It's been a long time.
yes, Hare Krishna. So uh, being strong, is, as previously people have said, it's to be uh, is what is unaffected by the is largely unaffected by your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you remember your duties even and be able to fulfill your duties even during the times when the things are not with you. So
Yes,
yeah, so that kind of basically it's more of based on your how you control your mind, and because if you control your mind, your body also will be under you otherwise.
yes, very nice. Thank you, Gaurav. Well said. All of you, thank you for sharing your thoughts. So, I would take about 15 minutes to present to you some interesting learnings uh, in the light of Narasimha's appearance. So, let us see. Stay strong with the supreme shield. We are always surrounded with dangers, and I don't have to explain about it. In the current situation, there are dangers all around us, and there are so many difficulties which we don't expect unexpectedly. Whether you want it or not, whether you like it or not, dangers are there all around us. I have some interesting news items to show you, not to scare you, but just to share some interesting news items, how we are surrounded by dangers. Here's one interesting thing which happened in Kerala. 12-year-old Kerala boy dies while trying to straighten hair using kerosene oil and lit matchstick. So basically, he saw a YouTube video and he got excited, wanted to straighten his hair, but in the process, actually, he succumbs to death. Now, this is totally unwanted, totally unexpected, I must say, unplanned. So we watch so many hack videos on YouTube, but nobody would have expected that this could happen. Another interesting case study is here. 21-year-old woman loses her eyesight after staring at her smartphone game for days. So she was actually diagnosed with retinal artery retinal artery occlusion, and in her right eye. This was because she was watching her smartphone constantly. You know, the smartphones are very nice. They have made our life very easy. But at the same time, when we come across such things, disasters, we should really think twice before investing our time on smartphones. So here we see that uh, things uh, again, it was unexpected. Smartphone was used for gaming by this woman for her entertainment, but it ended up in a disaster, right? The next, another interesting news item here. This is from Kolkata. Undigested pills block stomach function in Kolkata man removed after surgery. Now again, you see here the pills were supposed to cure that person's disease or whatever, for whichever reason he had taken, but it created some other problem. It blocked the stomach, and then surgery had to be done on this 56-year-old person. So here again, an unexpected danger, right? Not expected. Then here there is another in Srinagar. Couple 5-year-old son die of carbon monoxide poisoning from room heater in Jammu and Kashmir's. Uh, sorry for that. Yes, Jammu and Kashmir's Baramulla. This happened where they had actually, the room heater was turned on, but because of carbon monoxide poisoning coming out of that room heater, the child and the parents succumbed to death. Now, what do you understand from these case studies or these? Okay, one more. There is one more. Another one. Uh, Pune restaurant serves washing soda to a 4-year-old boy instead of sugar, and he lands up in ICU with burnt tongue. The restaurant we all go to enjoy some nice variety of food, but there is danger even in restaurant. Instead of sugar, washing soda is served, and this 4-year-old boy, he lands up in a serious problem. So like this, I think you must also come across many such incidents. Now, what comes to your mind when you see these incidents? Definitely, the point is that this world is not as safe as we think. Now, generally, our idea is, okay, if I have certain securities around me, then I am safe. No problems, no dangers, right? Some of you might be thinking, why this person, instead of speaking some positive news today, positive news is much awaited and much wanted, but why this person is only talking about negativity? I'm not talking negatively, but I'm just presenting some real things which have happened, and we are seeing if we can derive some life lessons through these incidents, right? That is what is my intention. My intention is not to create some fear or some negativity in all of you. So my intention is to draw our attention to this particular point, that we think that by making certain arrangements, it could be insurance, it could be some, bank balance, it could be, whatever, those securities that we have trust on. We think that by making those arrangements for our securities, we are safe. But the matter of fact is, this world is a place of danger. Now, we see through these case studies, we see what's happening around us in the world today. And we also get to know the same thing even from the scriptures. The Bhagavad Gita says this material world is dukhalayam. It's a place of misery. The Bhagavatam says padam padam yat vipadam. Every step there is a danger. Now, that is the very nature of this material world. Now, in this scenario, how do we go about facing these challenges, facing these difficulties? Should we shun away from these difficulties? Is it actually possible for us to run away, shun away from these problems? Or is there a way to solve these problems? Now, another interesting thing that is, that we can also observe is that our attempts to solve these problems themselves cause more problems. We try to solve some problems by using our intelligence, by using our whatever facilities are available, but these problems themselves, these solutions themselves may create more problems as well. Now, here are some more case studies for that. Now, the medical reports say that too much hand sanitizer can lead to severe hand dermatitis. It can lead to skin issues. Now, you see, ever since the COVID has started, we all have started using masks and hand sanitizers. But here, the medical research has said that um, don't use too much hand sanitizers. So, yes, of course, it can kill the germs and bacteria on your skin, but it can also lead to killing of the good bacteria, and that will lead to serious problems on your skin, particularly on your hands, because that is where we use the hand sanitizer. So the point here is we have invented a solution to fight corona, that is hand sanitizer, but it is also having its own side effects. That means the solution that we tend to invent to solve a particular problem can give rise to some other unwanted problems as well. That is a harsh reality. Another case study, another thing here, doctors warn against social media's steam inhalation prescription. Now, we all know this. Steam inhalation is one of the most effective home remedies. This is what we have been hearing, many WhatsApp forwards and all of these things. But the doctors have debunked this theory and they have said that this could cause more danger than good. What we think is a possible solution is a potent danger. Okay, and this is another interesting one. This is from the US. In Florida, two women, they dressed themselves as grannies because they wanted to get the COVID-19 vaccine, but they got caught. They got punished. Now they thought that now we are young, but the government is still not giving us the vaccine. But we want a vaccine immediately. So they dressed themselves as grannies. They thought that's a very good solution, but that made them end up in trouble. So from these three case studies, we see that sometimes the solution that we think works can actually be more dangerous than the original problem which we are trying to solve, which we are trying to address. Isn't it? Now, that means what's the way out? How do we get rid of the problem? Having said that, this material world is a world of dangers, difficulties, challenges. And so, should we stop making any attempts towards solving these problems ourselves? No, it's not that way. As far as our intelligence allows, we should definitely try to do something about the challenges in hand. But at the same time, we should also be aware that simply our efforts alone are not sufficient. In fact, if you see the current scenario, the pandemic situation, many intelligence, many scientists and many intellectuals have analyzed the cause of this pandemic is man's undue meddling with nature. I was watching a meme which said that First, you know what happened? We have covered plastic all over the world by polluting the world with plastic waste, and now uh, the plastic is on our face, on our, you know, on our bodies, the PPE kits, isn't it? So someone was saying it's like tit for tat from by nature. So maybe if you give a serious thought, maybe it is true in one side, in one way. If you see, yes, we have too much meddle with the nature, and it looks like nature is on a, you know, on the, now it's on the offensive mode, not on the defensive mode. So we have to do something for, you know, solving these problems, but at the same time, is that enough? Are our efforts sufficient to encounter, to you know, face these challenges? Now, interestingly, protection of God is the only hope. Now we know man proposes, God disposes. When things go out of our hand, we always must look up to a superior power, and that is God. Now, this is evident from the activities, from the life of Bhakta Prahalad. I'm sure that all of you know the history of Bhakta Prahalad. Now, he was a small 5-year-old boy, and his own father was against him for the only reason that he was a devotee of Lord Vishnu. And Hiranyakashipu tried his best to dissuade his son from being a devotee, but the small boy wouldn't give up. So finally, Hiranyakashipu decided that I should get rid of this boy. So he wanted to kill his own son. He wanted to kill. He tried various ways to kill him. He was given poison. He was thrown from the top of a cliff. He was, attacked with various kinds of sharp weapons. He was put into a pit of poisonous snakes. You know, all these different attempts were made by Hiranyakashipu, and none of these attempts worked. None of these attempts worked. Every time Prahlada was protected. Now, what was that which was protecting Prahlad? Now, that is the divine blessings, the protection of God. There is a saying in Bengali, Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare ke, which means if Krishna wants to save you, no force in this world can, cause any problem to you. But if Krishna decides to kill somebody, no force or no power in this world can save such a person. That means Prahalada was safe every time. It was because he was personally protected by God. Now, why was he protected by God? Because he was having staunch faith in God. Now, today also sometimes people say, oh, Prahalad was protected. Narasimha came from the pillar. Why today we don't see any Narasimha coming from the pillar? Sometimes people come up with this kind of questions. But we forget to also get into this detail that Narasimha came moved by the intense devotion and faith of Prahlad. If you have faith like Prahlad, definitely the Lord will always give you protection. Faith can move mountains, isn't it? Because of this intense faith of this small 5-year-old boy, the Lord personally came and gave him protection. In every difficult situation, he was protected miraculously. So that can happen to each and every one of us. It's a matter of change of consciousness. We have to change from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness. Then you can see there is only bliss, there is only happiness. It is not to do with externals, it is to do with our internal consciousness. That is what Prahlada is teaching us. Yes, as a matter of duty, external arrangements also you can do, but our faith should actually be strong on God. We should work on our internals, on elevating our consciousness. In fact, the very meaning of the word prahlada, prakrushta rupena ahlada iti prahlada, means one who is always experiencing a high level of internal bliss. That is the meaning of the word prahlada. So externally he was suffering. Externally there were a lot of problems. It was not a lot of dangers, but internally he was always experiencing bliss, happiness, pleasure. Why? Because he was constantly meditating on God. He was chanting the holy names of God. So on this auspicious occasion of Narasimha Jayanti, we should follow in the footsteps of Bhakta Prahalada by fixing our mind on the Lord. And the easiest way to fix our mind on the Lord is to chant his holy name. By doing this, we can stay strong. We can be strong mentally, spiritually, internally. And when we are internally strong, no amount of external difficulties can actually bring us down. This is the real meaning of observing this Narasimha Jayanti festival. And on this occasion, let us pray to Lord Narasimha Deva to always keep us under his protection so that we can stay fearless under his protection and we can stay strong. So now we will do a small mantra meditation. We'll try to follow in the footsteps of Prahalad Maharaj by chanting the holy names of the Lord. So we will first chant the Panca-tattva mantra one time. Please repeat. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Now we shall chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra together for 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let us follow in the footsteps of Bhakta Prahalada and always chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and in this way we can be internally strong and we can stay strong amidst all difficulties, all dangers, and we can seek the protection of the Lord. With this, I come to the end of today's talk. If anyone has any question at this point of time, you can feel free to ask your questions, or you can also put forward your comments. Okay, I guess nobody has a question or a comment to make. So thank you so much, and over to Amrit. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful and enlightening talk. Thank you for your time. And also the meditation was very calming. Okay, next up, I have an announcement for all of you. We organize weekly Bhagavad Gita sessions. It's called Bhagavad Gita Simplified Series. So if you're interested, you please mention it in the feedback form, which will be shared in the coming slides. Also, those who are interested to do mantra meditation, they can follow, they can also join us. There will be a link. They can join us, which will be conducted every day from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And the link for the feedback is as shown at tinyurl.com/ttcomment. So I request all of you to give feedback in the given link. So with that, let's wind up today's program. Thank you for being with us. Hope you guys had a great time. Stay tuned with us for more such programs in the future. So it's Amrit bidding you goodbye. Thank you all once again.